I'm going to be showing you how to do a variation on this style of bangle bracelet. But first, I'm going to be finishing up. We just finished our TikTok live stream where I was making a bunch of this style of pendant. Let me clip clop on over through to here to make sure that I have y'all's comments and everything pulled up so I can see what you guys are saying, and I'm making sure that I have it in all comments, that way I can, yes, that way I can see everybody's. Okay, excellent. I have 2 more of these to finish up, so while folks wander in, I'm going to go ahead and get these finished. But this is going to be a precursor for next week's tutorial where I show you from start to finish how to make these bracelets. I just want to work on a couple of different core, like DIY gallery wire, like some different braiding and things. Well, hey Patricia, how's it going? She says, hi, I haven't seen you in a while. Well, I'm glad you that you saw us this time. We've been streaming. We've been having some trouble with YouTube, I'm going to be honest, sending notifications to folks, which is why we're streaming in the vertical now, because they seem to be more successful in actually sending out notifications when we live stream in the vertical as opposed to in the horizontal format that we typically did. Hey Saki girl, hey We Do's It. How's that how's it going, We Do's It, with the declutter? Have you gotten another basket put together yet? And I will be getting the camera flipped around here in just a sec. I just got to finish this project that's on my work surface before moving to the next one. Randy is a good timekeeper. He is the best. And we are on a kind of chop schedule today with the different live streaming, because I don't want to not live stream to TikTok and I don't want to not live stream to YouTube, but dual streaming just kind of seems to not have great results. So I'd rather spend an hour where you're getting my undivided attention, and then spend an hour where TikTok's getting my undivided attention, and then I think we're actually going to be streaming for 2 hours on Kick this evening, doing more crafting, actually more sculpting probably. Hey Michelle, hey Tara, hey Whimsical, just an FYI, this is the artist formerly known as Keep Doing Good. Right on, Whimsical, thank you for letting me know. I love that. It's the artist formerly known as Kicking but Redoing My Craft Room. Woo! Woo, Saki girl. How's it going? Okay, getting this bent around. And I'm just going to get this one finished, and then we'll do the next. I'll do the other one later. Hey, Simone. Hey, Danielle. How are all y'all doing? But we live stream every Friday here on YouTube from 4 to 5 p.m. And then we go over to Kick, where, because it was complicated, and I don't know what the right decision is yet. If anybody has suggestions or the answer, like the correct answer, I would love to know. But it's like we're trying to revitalize our YouTube channel, because I did take 2 months off in November, actually it's October and November of 2024, to finally let my hand fully recover. And I say that, but it's given me some issues today, but that is what it is. But it's like just trying to recover the channel. Give this bit a like, guys. Well, thank you guys. Hey Jolanta, how's it going? And I don't know if it was helping or hurting the channel for us to be having like 4-hour long live streams here on YouTube, or if it's helping or hurting for us to be posting short form content. And so it's like, but we did feel like something's not lining up when we have well over 200,000 subscribers. But I have felt very lucky lately if we got even 500 views on one of our tutorials. So that's the part where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. If anybody has the answer, I am all ears, because I'm a little desperate. So, but in the meantime, we're going to keep rolling with the punches and stay optimistic, relentlessly so, and just try to do our best. So, that being said, let's get started on the project. Sarah says, I see Twitch users post content to YouTube. You know, and I do too, and I look around to try to see what the obvious answer is, and there just isn't one, because, you know, I just don't know. And so we're going to be making a variation of this wire wrap. So what we're going to do is we're using 18 gauge wire. You could use 16 gauge, but I'm going to have some mercy on myself. And typically, hey Florencio, hey Maria. Wow, in Brazil. That's really cool. Hey Sam. Live stream elsewhere but post recorded stuff to YouTube. Maybe. But I don't know, like, I don't know. Our analytics show that there's some people who watch our shorts and some people who watch our tutorials and some people who watch our live streams, and that there's not a whole lot of overlap between those three groups of people, except for like 15 people do all three. So will you show the clasp, please? Yes. Let me go ahead and get this flipped around so that y'all can actually see what it is that we're doing. All right. Well, that's good that it's recommending, that it's actually recommending our content. Like, that's phenomenal. Oops, stuck on all the wonderful noises and professionalism. All right. So the clasp. This is the clasp. And we have the tutorial for this coming out next week. Like, I have it recorded. I just need to edit it and get it uploaded and scheduled. And so if I want to make an 8-inch bracelet, I want to give myself at least 24 inches. So I'm actually going to give myself 30 inches. So we're cutting two 30-inch lengths today. Hey, Mel, during heat wave having hot flashes too. Oh, no. Hey, Gabrielle, how are you doing? Hey, Pro Pool, how are you doing today? All right, so we're getting those ends lined up and getting... All right. So now we have, and I'm actually going to be standing. So let me go ahead and get the desk into standing mode. I've come to the center of our wire and I'm going to press. I just want to make a loop that is staying relatively flat. There we go. And so I'm just shaping it around. Pro Pool says hot, hot, hot. Right? Hey, Deadpool fan. I am using 18 gauge. And I want to make a loop about like that. I think that's a very good loop, actually. All right, some creative desk cleaning. Yes, there we go. So there we have our loop. And now we're going to come in and I'm going to use my nylon jaw pliers. You could use a desk clamp or a ring clamp if you want, but I really like my nylon jaw because it makes it easy for me to scooch. And one of the things that I'm going to want to make sure I do is, this is like I call it a twist tie twist. Whenever we complete that, I want this right here to be pretty close to a 90 degree. Well, hey everybody who just came in. Sarah says, I love your desk. Dude, me too. I love being able to have the option to be standing. Okay, so here on our first loop, this one's going to be, oh, Stana says I missed a lot. We're actually just getting into it. And also we're going over variations on this, the tutorial for this bracelet. So anything that you might have missed will be covered in the tutorial that's releasing next Thursday. And it's like all of our tutorials, it is free to watch. We're going to do 2 twists. And then we're going to shape this around. but I wanted to explore some different variations. And I want there to be a nice, like, little bit of space between what we've got going on here, if that makes sense. And that's going to be tricky for me. But often things that are tricky are worthwhile. Okay, so we've come around this way. And I'm going to do a twist. And I can feel, yeah, I felt it happen underneath my fingers, that it kind of pulled in on that. So I'm going to do this one just starting with an alternate. So I'm alternating between that right there, that twist, is what we did just over and over again to get that pattern. Hey, Anne. The humidity is the worst right now. Nothing like walking outside and feeling like you need another shower, right? Ooh, Mel says the frames. I forgot where you said to get them. Amazon, was it? I look for hollow jewelry frames for resin casting is where I find these listed, and it's like a mixed pack was my favorite. Oh, Tara says hi, pal, and count in upstate New York today. I'm hiding next to the air purifier. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to be alternating between, gosh, even just that by itself I think is very pretty. I just like wire wrapped stuff though, really. Hey, and welcome to everybody watching. If y'all have any questions about anything, do let me know, and I'll try my best to be helpful to you. So we're doing 2 twists. And if it looks a little jank right now, that's okay. So much will start to look better whenever we hammer it. Hi, you guys. Ooh, Jade says, hi, where can I shop your jewelry? Hey, Jade, you can find all of our handmade jewelry and tie-dye and craft-along materials at backtoearthcreations.com. And so, and again, don't worry about it. If it's all crazy and all over the place, we'll find our way. Though I do find this project to be a lot easier if I don't have a bunch of stuff all over my work surface. I'm going to move our precarious. Can y'all believe it that this made it through our last stream on TikTok without getting knocked over? I'm going to go ahead and hide it on a shelf. It's because I've tempted fate enough. We're still not shipping outside the United States, though. It's just very, very expensive. Okay, and I'm going to trade hands because I'm left-handed today, you guys. So this is going to work great. So we just twist that away. And then I want to have that wire follow that wire right there. Miss Fortune, I started with around 30 inches of wire. What have I done? I was reading. Propul says, if you know, you know. I don't think I know. Hey, Randy. Can you go into Botrix and turn off the channel level thing? We don't have... Who's pro? Oh, I love that. Botrix. It's talking about channel levels. And we don't have the channel levels on YouTube. Right? Hey, Jan. I don't think I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm sorry. She says, I haven't been able to watch you live. Are you going to be at DragonCon this year? I am. We are looking forward to being at DragonCon this year. We're actually going to be sculpting some dragon heads later today in a live stream over on Kick. So you can see this is coming out very lumpy and weird. That's okay. Coffee Nut says, I love your name, by the way. How do you get it to stay going straight? Mine always goes wonky. Mine's going wonky too, and that's okay. Jan says, I need a new necklace from you. Oh, right on. Well, hopefully we can hook you up. But I just kind of tweak things as we go. And so if it starts getting a little bit weird, I just pay attention to how it's getting weird and try to tweak it and then continue on. And also, when it's laid out straight like this, you're going to see every single imperfection and variation and like, oh my God. Whenever it's curved for like around your wrist, you're only really going to be seeing like 2 inches at a time. And there's going to be enough other stuff going on that I don't think you're going to have to worry about it too much. Like, don't stress it. And if it keeps happening way worse than what you would want it to, and despite your best efforts, my recommendation would be to just kind of lean into the organic aspect. At least for like on this piece, if it kept coming out really weird and I'm halfway through, I would just keep letting it come out weird, and then I'll just have an organic because a plant doesn't grow wrong. That's just how nature is, you know. And then we'll just shape that, and then we're gonna grab and have that wire follow around there, and we're gonna grab and have that wire follow around there. So I hope that makes sense. Wonky is in right now, right on. And Miss Fortune says, where would we be without Wonky? But I do hope that that's helpful to your coffee nuts. Oh, and we gotta hydrate. Hydrate your noodles. Gabrielle says, I'm doing okay. Oh, that's good to hear. We just practice, practice, practice. And, ooh, oh, that was the dog. God, he scared me. Hey, Barbie, how are you doing? So we're just going to do a single twist. And then, and again, I'm trying to maintain a 90-degree bend here because I feel like that helps me get a consistent twist, and it also helps, I feel, my twists to come out a little bit more consistently. And so now with this being the case, we're going to bring this around. Now, something I bet we could do for the sake of, you know, keeping it spicy and experimental is we could totally put a stick mandrel there where it's kind of in between those two, like that little bump, bump, bump right there. I bet we could just place that there to shape our wire around, and then place it on the other side to shape that wire around. And this may help us to get, not the stick mandrel. I'm going to need my wound nose pliers. Whoop. And I'm just going to insert them just to keep them there. Because what happens is we come in to do our little twist tie twist, and it cinches those wires down. So I don't want to be pushing down all of the way. And y'all, I am open to suggestions on this. I just need something. Just a little something. And then I'm going to hold, and then we're going to twist. And do you see how that, I mean, it kind of changed the shape between, so now I can just every like third one do where there's a spacer, like using the, using our pliers. So it's, the obstacle is the way. So if we're looking at it and it's like, man, my loops are really inconsistent, we can either try to do something that will make it consistent, you know, like putting the nose of our pliers in or something. And I bet that we could use little, like a rubber stopper or something. Or if I had like two of these rubber banded together so they're like parallel, like chopsticks. Simone says, I kind of like them all different, right? Me too. Now it's going to make putting the edging on it a pain in the butt, but that's fine. Because I wanted to try something different. As long as there's a gap on this one, I think it'll be just fine. And even then, we can take that and just kind of squeeze it down. So wire wrapping is basically just creative problem solving with wire. So I am a firm believer that if there's a crafter, there's a way. So we're going to get in there. I'm actually going to bend this around a little bit more so I can be working off the edge of my desk because there's just less stuff in the way like that. So we're doing that twist, following this wire down, following this wire up. Bonk, bonk. Give it some nice squishes. Oh, Brenda says roasting in Phoenix, Arizona. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh, I did two the same back to back. I got a little carried away. That's fine. We will just open that up and open that up. There we are. There we are with the twist. And now I really like this enameled wire from parawire.com because it does not, it's a variety of freeform loopies. Looks great. Well, thank you. And I hope that y'all are as kind to yourselves as you are to me and each other. You know, because I see you guys be so supportive of each other in chat and like on Facebook and stuff. And so it really, I'm really proud of y'all for being so awesome all the time. But please show that same kindness to yourself, though, too, whenever you're looking at your own work. So we're just coming in and doing a little twist. And then I'm going to take this wire and bring it to where it follows. And then I'm going to take this wire and bring it to where it follows. And whether I'm making a bracelet or like, I think it'd be super cute to make one of these like into a headband or into like to wear like our summer festival dresses, how they tie with the ribbons. I'd like to make one of these where the loop is much wider and we could tie through it and then it's like a metal strap for over my shoulders. Well, hey, Pooh. I need special glasses. Don't allow me to see imperfections, right? No, there's just a whole lot of like mental work that needs done on that. But, you know, and I think it's a healthy mindset to be able to give ourselves critique without tearing ourselves apart. That's something I'm working on. It's a struggle, but I feel like it's a worthwhile one. This is what I was aiming for when I started, you guys. That's okay. This is why we practice. So there's a twist. And then there is a twist. Very good. There's that. And then just coming in here. And then also coffee nuts, if you're still in here. There you are, LOLin. Using my nylon gel pliers I'm pressing on that wire. Whoop. Sometimes I wish my fingers could be like see-through, but that might be weird. I'm pushing on the wire and then I'm just going to try to hold it all together with the nylon gel so that whenever we come in here, like, so you may be able to clamp it with something. Clamping can oftentimes help at least a little in maintaining the tension. And then shaping around. Oh, practice. Note to self. Yeah, there is no tutorial that I can watch that would replace the hours and hours of practice, that it's just necessary. Mel says, me too, but I'm a perfectionist too. Maybe try tricking yourself by like being purposefully messy. Be like, I'm going to make this and it's going to be the most organic chaos, like dryad bracelet that's ever existed. And then that way, if it comes out irregular, well, it was perfect. Oh, coffee nuts. Oh, that's really nice. And you have really nice nails too. Mine are destroyed from the wires. I am very lucky. I take my skin and nail vitamins, but I know that there's sometimes there's just not enough skin and nail vitamins in the world to make a difference. But I've seen folks have great success with wearing like acrylic nails. They find that very helpful. But also, let me grab it because here it is. Whenever I'm doing a lot of wire weaving, and I really... Oh, baby, did you get another bracelet made? Hot dog. Randy is a fiend. Look at him go. Yeah, the handheld wood clamps for sure. He got 2 bracelets made. This is a metal thimble that I really like the little... Now, I like this more for whenever I'm doing weaving, so I can press on it without it chiseling into my fingernail. But it's kind of like... I'll wear it whenever we do the weaving portion of this. Oh, well, thank you, Brenda. Okay, so opening that up, coming in here. But whatever length you want to make this, you just continue the pattern until it is the length that you would like. So now I'm shaping this around, and I'm shaping this around. And just to let everybody know, we do have some wire and cabochons and finished materials for sale, or like finished pieces for sale on our website, backtoearthcreations.com. All right, baby. There we go. But the best way to support the channel is to like and subscribe if you enjoy our free tutorials and just enjoy crafting. Whoop. Whoop. Ah, Tara says, where did you find that thimble? Reminds me of a banjo pick. It was like $3 on Amazon, y'all. Like, and I think I got it as like a 2-pack. But I do put, this is Next Care medical tape. It's like a, it's not sticky, but it sticks to itself. Gandalf, no. But it keeps the thimble from turning my skin green. And it also keeps it from biting into my skin, because especially when I go like this, you know, it can press into the back of my finger. Right on, Mel. No, yeah, be sure to check out in the, it'll, after the live stream, I'll add it down into the links, to where you can find it. But just, if you search like metal thimble, you should be able to find like embroidery thimble maybe. I kind of want to do like how we were doing before though, because I really kind of dug that. Because I don't want to pinch with my pliers too much. But let's see. Because my problem is, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like choke gripping this thing, death gripping it. Yeah, Mel. And then twist. But I want to check and make sure, did that bite my wire? No, not too bad. It's a bit lumpy and weird though, isn't it? Ah, that's okay. Shaping down, shaping up. But I'm aiming for, we're gonna twist. How many do? We do 2. And twist. Mel says I have the worst death grip. Well, if you're crafting along with me, let's go ahead and set our pliers down. Do a nice neck and shoulder roll. Roll our wrists out. Wiggle our fingers and just like chill. We don't need to be choking our pliers. Oh, gotcha. And then also, the easiest solution to this for me would be to just stop trying to put spacers in them and to just get through a bracelet. Like, if you're having... Mental health is so fluctuating. So, like, and I consider part of my mental health my ability to make it through a piece without hating myself. So if I'm just having a hard day, then, you know, sometimes, like earlier, I was really having a hard time. So I just started making the same thing over and over again. And so sometimes just I have the need to craft, but I can't handle, not can't handle, but I don't want it to be stressing me out. And so if it's stressing you out, then, just do whatever is happening naturally. Whatever's coming natural to you today. That's all right too. What do we do? We're going to do, the 2. Flomp, flomp. And stay tuned for future tutorials because we're going to be showing you how we made the bracelet start to finish, as well as other variations. This is just one of many that I hope to do with this design. Yeah, I really like it kind of snug. And if that's the case, and if we've got a little weird spot, then we can actually probably come in and just squeeze it a little. It brings it a little bit more in line. You can see how it loosened it up there, but that's okay. Let's see, how much more? Tara says, so I found out that working with your neck bent for extended period of times makes your facial skin sag over time. I started face yoga. Oh, goodness. I think I'm just going to look like one of those wrinkly dogs when I'm old, regardless of what I do, so I may as well enjoy myself. And I'm going to trust that my friends and husband will love me even whenever I look like a pile of blankets. So... Right, honey? Yeah. You'll still love me when I look like a pile of blankets? Mommy. Would you love me if I was a worm? Oh, Lord. Randy. Randy? Randy, say it. Put the lotion in the basket. Blink twice if you need help. I live to antagonize him. We need like 1 more inch. And that's it. And they'll be good to go. Oh, Philly says, I will always love you, sweet Vaughn. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. There's 1, and there's 2. Hey, babe.
What's up, worm?
What's up, worm? Not too much. Yeah, I'm going to be making it to 7 inches because we're going to be, the clasp itself adds almost a whole nother inch. And then there's also a way that you can add extension onto this as well. It's so much easier to make this bracelet longer when we're selling in our booth than it is to make it shorter. So, hey Mama Kay, how's it going? Oh, well, we haven't streamed on YouTube since last week. We stream on YouTube on Fridays, but other than that, we stream Monday and Wednesday over on Kick, KICK.com. And that way we can have like background music and stuff, and we get kind of rambunctious. Philly says, I've just not been able to tune in as much. Life is just complicated. Oh, I completely understand. No, I completely understand. And that's the thing is, guys, is we're here for whenever you are. Mel said 8 inch. Ah, cool. I need a larger one. Right on. And that's the wonderful thing about making your own jewelry is you can make it exactly the size that you want. I'm hoping that we can make these and sell them on our website or out of our booth. And for those of y'all who like chicken nuggets, this is, what is this? It's going to be 18 centimeters when we're done. Stunner. Ooh, Walk in the Rain says, how would you measure someone for one of your stretchy bracelets? Talking big hands. Hey, Wandy, can I use your big hands real quick? Nope. He says nope. Okay. So this is one of our stretchy bracelets, and you can see how much that's having a stretch. So I make it to the wrist size. So if somebody wants like a 9-inch, bracelet, I'll make it to 9.
What do you need?
Okay, ooh. Can you stick your hand right here? Okay, now insert it. Oh, well, that wasn't in frame. Take it back out. Okay, now go back in. There we go. So that's how now whenever we do our stretchy bracelets, we make them, how long do you make these, baby? 8 or 9 inches. But these are easier to size down in the booth than they are to size up. So we make them a little longer. It's kind of the opposite of with the wire ones, that it's easier to make it longer than shorter. So that's that. I hope that answered your question. Thank you, baby. He's just side-eyeing me. Why does he always have to make it weird? I keep measuring it and then forgetting what I was doing. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 more like 1 more double and then 1 single. Yeah, walk. I do hope that was helpful to you. So, thwomp and thwomp, just like so. And then we're going to go thwomp, yeah. Maybe. And thwomp. And then I'm going to go like that. And then we're going to go just taking those innermost 2 wires. Come on, fingies, we can do it. Thwomp. And also, as I finish, I try to make sure that everything is like flat, like 2-dimensional. And I think that helps me to reduce the amount of twisting that ends up happening in the piece. Ooh, Mel says, what kind of elastic is that? It's not actually elastic. It's EPDM rubber rings that we get from theringlord.com. Bananas. Yeah, well, hopefully, and I wasn't very satisfied with the clasps that we were using, like the ribbon-ended ones, Tara. So I was really pleased to kind of troubleshoot and figure that out. So now I'm going to take some more of our 18 gauge, and we're going to want to give ourselves at least a solid 6 inches on this one. Hey Morris, how's it going? A slap bracelet ruler? That would be awesome. That would be awesome, Steffi. And I'm going to take our flat nose pliers, and these ones have been modified. If you're able to shop in person, just find the ones with the thinnest tips that you can find. But we just used a grinder to grind down the backside to make that tip quite thin. And I like that because then we can come in. Oh, actually, let's straighten this out with our nylon jaw pliers first. What kind of metal did you say it was that you're using? I'm using a copper core that's been covered with an enamel. It's by the company Parawire. Parawire.com. And I use them for just about all of our work. It's very high quality. It doesn't oh, I'm not wearing the one. I've got a necklace that I've been wearing for the past like 7 to 9 years and I have very acidic skin. So like most of the time, like if I'm sweaty or something, it'll just eat right through whatever plated alloy or, whatever. This stuff holds up. Like we swear by it. Everything in my booth since 2010 has been made with Parawire. So, now some of their colors, like the more colorful colors, may flake. Oh, I threw it on the ground. But the antique copper, which is one of my favorites, the vintage bronze, which is another one of my favorites, and then the silver-plated titanium. Those are the ones that I work with almost exclusively. It does not turn my skin green, and I don't have to worry about polishing it. But I also can't liver of sulfur oxidize and then polish it. Hey, Aurora, how's it going? Oh, well, thank you. We were making these a little earlier today in a TikTok live stream, and I really like it. We actually have a tutorial out showing how to make this pendant here, which I really like. But yeah, that's my favorite, is that it doesn't turn my skin green. Hey babe, are you able to moderate for me? Gotcha. Tara says, I'm never sure what to put in Etsy listings about what materials I use because using color names confuses people and saying copper freaks them out. Yeah. So what I do is I'll call it, labradorite wrapped in non-tarnished parawire, or, something. And that way, if they ask questions about, oh, what's parawire, it gives you the opportunity to,
They say, can we ask about the beads? Do you have them?
I got the beads on Amazon. Hey, Ovad. We had gotten the beads on Amazon, I think. They're just 10 millimeter acrylic eye beads. Okay, so I talked about something else while we were doing that, but I like to get that tight bend, like how we just did there. I like to bend it with as narrow of pliers as I can, and then I'll come through and I'll squeeze while holding it in the jaws of another plier. If I have it out too far, it'll like twist, which is not the end of the world. If that happens, I just straighten it back out. Gotcha. Coffee says I absolutely love copper. Yeah. Ooh, Philly says, can you buy real gold wire? Like, I would like to make a gold Viking bracelet for myself. I've seen gold filled wire, but I think that's gold, like metalsmithing and goldsmithing territory, which I am barely a beginner in. So that hope maybe somebody in chat, do we have any goldsmiths in the house that you may need to melt down and draw your own wire? So we're making the clasp here, and I'm just going to grab it and I'm going to do a little bit of a bend like that. And then I'm going to come a little farther up, and we're going to give that a bend like that. Right on. Laura says, Goldsmith here. Gold wire is available. Would that be something to get from like Rio Grande or something? Or do you have to go like panning for gold? I would totally go panning for gold. Okay, so I'm grabbing this with my nylon jaw pliers, and then I'm just kind of opening that just a smidge. And I'm going to come through and I'm going to use my finger because it's typically the same width, but it's about a half of an inch. And I'm just measuring from where my finger is butting up against the clasp to the other side. And I think using our hands and our fingers and stuff can be a great way for us to leave our fingerprints on the designs that we're doing, because if a lot of us, made this bracelet, it would look pretty similar, but there'd be little details about it that are different just by using our own hands as the measuring device. And so now I'm going to grab our wire and I'm just going to shape it around. There's one side. And there's the other side. And if you can totally, I'd always rather be in a position where I trimmed off more wire, like where I need to do a second trim, than to have it be too short. And so what's happening here is I'm going to want to come in and do a little boop and do a little boop. And then we can actually just close that loop. It's like we're making our own hook and eye. Like, okay, Laura says Rio Grande can get it. They don't stock it. 18 karat is easier to find than 14 or 10 karat. Any wholesale jewelry supply house will carry it. Right on. Well, that's really good to know. So I guess that would be the thing to do. Yeah, Mel, they're really nice. All right. So now that we have our clasp made, and I feel like it looks almost just like a great big version of like a hook and eye for like a sewing closure. This thing, I see it out the corner of my eye and I'm like, God, did I leave an old Band-Aid on the, like it looks like an old Band-Aid just sitting around. So I'm going to stow that over there. So we've come to the end of our bracelet, and I'm going to go like bonk, and I'm going to go like bonk, just holding between my finger and my thumb, and then kind of trying to straighten those out. Oh, let's hammer it first. Hammer time. Do, 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 hammer time. Do, 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 do. Hey, Ongyi, how are you doing today? Do, hammer time. Hammer time. Sorry. This is a 13-ounce jeweler's hammer. I don't remember what brand it is. You can use whatever you have. For a long time, I just used the end of one of my the bottom of my cast iron skillet and a house hammer. So you do not have to have special materials. This is going to be loud. If you're wearing headphones, consider yourself warned. I don't want to be hammering so hard that it makes the wire like bite through itself. So you can see here now, we've gotten all sorts of twisted and distortion through the hammering process. That's okay, because we can just squish it with our pliers until it's straight again. Now, I highly recommend if you're going to be hammering your piece, now is the time to do it, because if you hammer with the thin weaving wire on there, the hammer can actually bite through that 28 gauge pretty easily. And what I mean by that, let me see if I can demonstrate on some scrap pieces here, actually. So these two little guys, I'm going to twist them so that we have a slightly accurate representation of what's happening here. Okay. So we have, oh, well, I should have twisted it twice. I'm going to grab different examples, wires. There we go. So we have our 3 twists, and I'm just going to set it there on our work surface. Loud noises. This is an example of the wire biting through itself. Oh, shoot. All right, it's across the room now. This is the trickiest demonstration I've ever demonstrated. All right. Like cabbage. It never breaks. It broke. All right. Let's try again. Also, this is a testament to how much abuse Parawire, the enameled stuff, will take. Like, this is some serious abuse. But do you see how it's like getting nice and flat? Oh, I love that. But if we were to come in here and open that, you might be able to see it's not doing it just yet, but there's a little bit of a dimple where the wire was biting into itself. All right, let's hit it again. Now we're getting into this is too much. And again, really great example of how much abuse the Parawire will take. But you can really see how it bit into itself there. So if I wanted to hit something with a hammer this much, and you can see it'll really, like, it is not hard to break on those pinch points. But if I really wanted to hammer something out flat like this, I would use a thicker gauge and just be a little more scrupulous in how I'm hitting it. So, whomp, zooming back out. I'm trying to. There we go. So now, y'all, we made our bracelet core. Like, this is the DIY gallery wire. And now we're going to take, we have our ends here, and I'm going to thread 2 of them through one side of our clasp. And then the other 2 through the other side. And I'm just going to bring that all the way down. You know, we can probably shape this first. I've removed the clasp. So I'm really heavy-handed because I knackered up bear copper. Oh, right on. Captain says, can you do this with your feet? Yes, but not as well as what I can with my hands. I mean, I can do anything with my feet poorly. Hey, Dan, how are you doing today? Ooh, Brenda says, do you accept PayPal as a form of payment on your website? I do believe so. Now for this, I don't like to be like, oh, you need a bunch of different tools to do wire wrapping, but sometimes having the right tool for the job can really help. And these taper or stepped mandrel pliers or bail making pliers, whatever they're called, I absolutely love them because it's not tapered. Well, hey, Mellow Doc, how are you doing? I'm doing really well. My day has gotten exponentially better since I started live streaming today. Mostly because I got into like not a fight, but like I got my butt kicked by a bird feeder this morning. So it's been a rough day. Is your belly button an innie or an outie? I haven't checked in a while. But I can hide like 5 quarters in there. Ask weird questions, you're gonna get weird answers. Would love footage on that. I wasn't recording, thank goodness. But no, I was walking around in the back garden, fixing to mow, and I wear this like really wide brimmed hat, and I didn't see the hummingbird feeder, and I whacked it with my head so hard that it like swung, and then when it swung back, it hit me in the face again. So I've got like a cut on the bridge of my nose, and I think I've got a bruise forming on my forehead. Dan says that they might get power next month. Oh, Dan. Gosh, what a trooper you've been getting through all this. All right, so now that we've done that bending for getting our clasp on, that's a rough kind of funny, right? Well, I've officially decided, because this is not the first time that I've beat myself up with a bird feeder on accident, but this is going to be the last time, because I'm moving it to a different location. Hopefully not in the middle of it. I mean, I should have never put it in the middle of a walking path. Like, but I only walk there sometimes. There we go. So now that's all slid down and on. That's horrible. It is. Move bird feeders higher. But then I can't reach them. Like, big head and little arms. Like, I've got to have it basically face level if I'm going to be able to reach it without a step ladder. In a way that's like where it's going to get consistently done. Because I'm sure some of y'all can relate to this, that if it's not out of sight, out of mind sort of stuff. So if I'm not eye level with it, it's not going to get refilled. Okay, so I'm just trying to straighten these wires a little bit, get them kind of tucked in parallel, because this is going to be the easiest that it is to mess about with these wires for the rest of the piece. So Tara, are you still here? That's how we do that. Ooh, oh Laura, that's a really good idea. Since I use a dowel with a hook in the end to get mine down and put it back up. That's a really good idea. Our birds perch on my wide-brimmed hat. Oh, Laura, that sounds awesome. Oh no, y'all, I didn't give myself enough wire. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, well, we're going to snip it and be done with it. And so now I'm going to, because I'll want to have made sure that I give myself enough wire that whenever it's folded in half like this, that I want these wires to come to like here. So I guess I should have given myself about 40 inches. You put the hook between the 2 inner or outer wires. It's both of the 2 wires on this side went through the hook on that side, and the 2 wires on this side went through the hook on that side. Sorry, my dog has like heartburn, so he makes these horrible horrible noises. But the vet says there's not really anything we can do for him, so I say just horkle away. Except bark at the mailman. So now I'm just gonna shape these a little better since we don't have enough wire, and this one's just gonna be like how it is, and I think that'll be all right. I want to make sure that I snip it on the flat side. Boop. And then we're going to rotate this around, and I'm going to snip it on the flat side. And then I am just going to use my round nose pliers. And these are 2 lengths of 18 gauge wire. Oh my gosh, until it slips off the hook and bonks you in the head anyway. I have the ER visit to prove it's a possibility. Oh no. Yeah, and me versus gravity. Gravity and physics are always going to get the upper hand. Every time. It doesn't stop me from trying. So there is that. Typically, this is on backwards. I'm going to open that back up. Typically, I like for, if there's any open loops on our piece, I like for them to be towards the wrist, just because I feel like they'll be hopefully less likely to snag on my clothing. There we go. So I've just got that flipped around, and I'm going to grab both of those and just cinch them in. And then grab both of those and cinch them in. I wouldn't do this without wrapping it if I were using thinner than an 18 gauge. Hey Julie, how's it going? Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good idea, Philly. And so now we can try to get it straightened and stuff, but I'm just going to grab what I used as a bracelet mandrel, which is one of these like 2-inch or 50 millimeter storage containers. And I'm just going to shape it around, because you'll notice if you're watching, whoop, do you see how it just has that like spring back? And I think that makes like a perfect bangle bracelet. And now from here, I do like to give some internal resistance and just bend that in to where it's a little bit more oblate or oval. And I like having the mobile hook because I feel like it makes it a little easier to just hook on. And there we are, a nice little organic bracelet. This is not what I had visualized, because what we were gonna do is fold the wire back on itself, just like how we did here. We had gotten to that step, and then that's when the weaving begins. And on this bracelet that the tutorial is coming out next Thursday, like 6 days from today, if you're watching this in the live, and instead of doing this weaving pattern that we cover in the tutorial, I wanted to come through and have the weaving pattern attach through that gap right there. So we would have like done the initial weaving, skipped that bit, like it'd still be woven on the edge. You know, actually, we can probably, this might make it easier to visualize. So it would have been like this down the center, and we would have continued this weave, except it would have joined whoop, around there, and then weave, 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 joined whoop. 503, he says. Oh, right on, Brenda. Oh, that would make our day, I'm just going to say. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Oh, weave some seed beads. That's a really good idea. Oh, I love that idea about adding some beads to the edge of it. But yeah, so I'm just going to let this bracelet be as it is, because our time for today's live stream is up. If y'all have any questions or comments or ideas, do feel free to leave them down below after the stream, and I'll do my best to get back to you. You can also send us an email to backtoearthcreations@yahoo.com. But I so appreciate y'all taking your time to come and craft with me today. We will be streaming on Kick from 6 to 8 p.m. this evening. Randy and I are going to go have some dinner and get set up for, we're going to be sculpting a dragon head. So I will see y'all there. And until then, happy crafting. Mwah. Bye. How do I click the button? Okay, there it is. Bye-bye.